Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Jai Shri Ram. So, we are here on the final day, that is day number 9 of Valmiki Ramayana series. So, as always, delighted, very happy to see all of you joining in day after day in order to relish Ramayana, the glorious life journey of Lord Sri Rama. So, we have Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, Ramachandran sir, Sushma Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, Chinmudra, Basavraj ji, Yogita ji, Nagraj ji, Uma Vaidyanathan Mataji, Tanuja Mataji, Raghavendra Kulkarni sir, Chakrapani sir, Padmavati ji, Sunita Kannan Mataji, Aparna Mataji, Usha Mataji, Nakul, Jailakshmi Mataji. Somebody has the name itself as Jai Shri Ram, so thank you. Indumati Mataji, Antaratma Krishna Prabhu, Chetan Prabhu, Bindia Mataji, Rajalakshmi ji, Saraswati Mataji, Geeta Mataji, Mogambo Chota, whoever you are, Jai Shri Ram. Rekha ji, Bhanu Mataji, Shashi ji, Jyoti Mataji, Shri Ram sir, Ahalya Mataji. So thank you very much everybody. Geeta Bhi Ramakrishnan Mataji. So thank you everyone for joining us as always every single day. Let's go ahead and begin with the prayers. So let me switch my screen so you can also look at the prayers and please join me in chanting these Mangalacharan prayers. And meanwhile, let me also log in through my phone so I can keep an eye on what is going on the live stream. Just a second, let me do that right away. All right. So Janvi ji is also here. Wonderful. Thank you very much, everyone. So Chinmudra, Raghavendra Kulkarni sir for confirming that I'm audible. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapresthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let us now chant a few prayers from Valmiki Ramayana, and as I do that, kindly request those of you who have not taken the time yet to say Jai Shri Ram in the chat section, please go ahead and do that. Let's continue to glorify Lord Sri Rama. So please say Jai Shri Ram in the chat section. Thank you very much, everybody. शुक्लाम्बरधरं देवं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये Guru Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruha Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Yappiban Satatam Ramacharitamrita Sagaram Atruptastam Munim Vande Pracheta Samakalmasham Manojam Marutatulyavegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutamukyam Shriramadutam Shirasa Namami Ramam Ramanujam Sitam Bharatam Bharatanujam Sugrivam Vayusunam Cha Pranamami Puna Puna Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai Cha Tasmai Janakatmajayai Namostu Rudrendraya Malinebhyo Namostu Chandrarkama Rudranebhyah. So let us all bow down our heads at the lotus feet of His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, my most glorious spiritual master, my eternal source of inspiration. Let us beg for His costless mercy, so may we succeed in successfully completing the Purna Ahuti, the final complete offering into the sacrifice in this Rama Katha Yajna, Maha Yajna. So thank you very much. So let us offer our obeisances unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace and continue forward on day 9 of Valmiki Ramayana series. So, all right, everybody. So, here we are. So, thank you so much. Very, very happy to have all of you chant Jai Shri Ram in the chat section. Malati Mataji, Pramila ji, Nisha ji, Deepagiri Dhari Mataji, Shruti Mataji, Chanda Lulla, KR Infotainment, whoever you are, Shilpi Bhalotia ji. Thank you so much. Very, very nice. So, a quick recap, there are 6 plus 1 kandas of Sri Valmiki Ramayana, and Ramayana, Ayana means journey. So, Ramayana literally means the life journey of Sri Rama. If we were to take Ramayana as the house in which Lord Rama resides, the 6 plus 1 kandas, these are like the rooms in that house. So, Balakanda starts with the distress of Dasharatha Maharaj and him performing Putrakameshti Yajna, and as a result of that they are blessed with 4 divine children, 4 divine sons. The Supreme Personality himself came as 4 sons, that is Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. And then we see their education under the able training of none other than the great Vasishta Muni. And then Vishwamitra Muni takes Rama and Lakshmana along with him in order to protect his 6 days sacrifice. So on their journey, Rama kills Tataka. She is the very first demoness that Lord Ramachandra kills. And then when they were protecting the sacrifice in Siddhashrama performed by Vishwamitra Muni and others, Rama kills Subahu, and then he uses Vayu Astra to throw Maricha way away where he falls on the 8th island currently called Mauritius. And then Ahalya's upliftment we witnessed, how she was cursed by Gautama Rishi and she came back into her human form. And then they enter Mithila Pattana, and when they enter, the minister, this son of Gautama Rishi and Ahalya Devi, who was serving as the Kula Guru, as the guide and advisor of Janaka Maharaj, he narrates the glorious transformation of Vishwamitra Muni, who was actually King Kaushika. So, although he was born a Kshatriya, with his persistence and dedication, his austerity and penance that he performed, eventually he becomes a Brahma Rishi. So Rama Lakshmana are very fascinated to hear the glorious life story of their guru Vishwamitra Muni, and then upon Lord Ramachandra breaking the Shiva Dhanasu, the hand of Mother Sita is given in marriage to Lord Ramachandra, and then at the same time his 3 brothers marry the 3 sisters of Mother Sita, and they all come back to Ayodhya. And then in Ayodhya Kanda, when they're all happily living and the citizens are extremely happy and jubilant, Dasharatha Maharaj decides to coronate Ramachandra, and all the ministers unanimously Loudly they chant, Ichchamo, Ichchamo, may this happen immediately. And the very next day, when Lord Ramachandra was supposed to be coronated, all the preparations were going on in full swing. But meanwhile, one person was extremely envious and unhappy because of this. That was Mantara. And this Mantara, she poisons the heart and mind of Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi uses her two boons given by Dasharath Maharaj to her. And then she says, using one boon, that it is her son Bharata who should become the king. And the second boon she uses in order to exile Lord Ramachandra for 14 long years into the forest. And in a sudden twist of events, there is one person completely calm and composed, and that is Lord Sri Ramachandra. He convinces Kaushalya Devi, he convinces Mother Sita, not convinces rather, he informs Mother Sita of this turn of events, and then he takes Mother Sita and Lakshmana along with him. Immediately overnight, they are exiled into the forest. It is heart wrenching to see what is going on in the condition of Dasharatha Maharaj. He goes blind right after, and all the Ayodhya Vasis are following this Rama, Lakshmana, Sita being driven away on the chariot by Sumantra. And then we see this very sweet incident of the very first person they meet as they are about to enter into the Aranya is Guha, Nishadaraj, the tribal king, whom Lord Ramachandra considered as his Atma Priya Saka. And staying one night there, they're all ferried across the Ganga. And there is another sweet dealing between the boatman Kevat and Rama Lakshmana Sita, who actually happened to be a tortoise in Kshira Sagara in his previous life. What not the Lord does to fulfill the desires of his devotees. And then we see they all come to Bharadwaja Muni's ashram, and then upon his advice they stay in Chitrakoot, a very calm, serene, beautiful place for them to stay. And then meanwhile in Ayodhya, Dashrath Maharaj, 6 days after Rama Lakshmana Sita left, he leaves his body, and Bharata Shatrughna are back from their uncle's place. And when they get to know all these unfortunate events that have transpired, they are extremely pained, angered, and hurt. And Bharata gathers everybody, all his three mothers, Vasishta Muni, the ministers, the citizens of Ayodhya, and not to mention Shatrughna, all of them with the paraphernalia for coronation. They make way all the way to Chitrakoot, and they all come. And Bharata also meets Guha, that is where he also mats his hair, he and Shatrughna, knowing that that is what Rama Lakshmana had done. Bharata also embraces Guha. He said, if you are considered as a dear friend of Lord Rama's, you are a dear friend of ours as well. You are our brother. And then Bharata comes to Bharadwaja Muni's ashram, and then from there they get to know that Rama, Lakshmana, Sita are in Chitrakoot. And meanwhile, we see how Bharata has to confront everybody's criticisms and speculations. He has to clarify the doubts in so many people's minds. And then, as they come to Chitrakoot, Bharat is insisting that Rama should go back and rule Ayodhya. Kaikeyi herself says, please come back. But, this Lord Ramachandra is Dhrida Vrata. Once he makes up his mind, once he takes a vow, once he gives a word, he lives up to it. So Lord Ramachandra is reluctant to go back, but however, he gives his padukas to Bharata and instructs him how to rule Ayodhya in his absence. So like this, from Chitrakoot, they move further. They go to this Anasuya Devi and Atri Maharshi's ashram. And with this, Ayodhya Kanda gets completed. And in Aranya Kanda, they enter into Dandaka Aranya. They meet many, many great sages. They meet Agastya Rishi, they meet Sharabanga Rishi, Sudekshna Rishi. And they see this huge mountain pile of bones of sadhus killed by demons. And Lord Rama assures them that he will kill all these demons. So they did do that. They killed demons like Virada, Kabanda, sorry. And then they are on their way to Panihati. Sorry, excuse me, not Panihati, Panchavati. I'm sorry about that. So they move on to Panchavati. And while they are staying in Panchavati, they meet this great mighty eagle bird, that is Jatayu. And Jatayu volunteers to serve Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, saying that I will protect Sita in the absence of Rama, Lakshmana when they go to, bring various paraphernalia. And meanwhile, Shurpanaka, the sister of Ravana, who is a Kamacharini, she disguises herself as though she is a beautiful damsel and she is trying to allure Rama and Lakshmana. But however, Lakshmana cuts off her nose and both ears. And having been humiliated like this, Shurpanaka goes and complains to her brothers Kara, Dushan, and Akampan, who were taking care of a place called Janasthan, a huge, a vast tract of land with 14,000 soldiers. So they all attacked Rama and Lakshmana, and Rama single handedly kills Kara and Dushan and he defeats all the 14,000 soldiers. However, Akampan goes back to Ravana and gives this news. And Ravana approaches Maricha, but however, Maricha denies to take part in this trickery to go and kidnap Mother Sita. So Maricha gives good advice to Ravana, saying that it is only your enemy who could be advising you like this for your destruction. Ravana, if at all you want to be alive and you want your kula, your whole dynasty to be well and doing fine, so you please go back. First time Ravana does come back, but Shurpanaka goes and instigates Ravana with provoking words, and especially she describes the beauty of Mother Sita, and she says that if at all you can just kidnap her, even without a war, these two men, that is Rama, Lakshmana, will automatically, it's like as though they have died. So Ravana, the second time around, he goes and again insists that Maricha should take part in this. And Maricha decides that he would rather die in the hands of Rama instead of Ravana. So this is when in Panchavati, this Maricha takes the form of a golden deer and he allures Mother Sita. And just like a Jiva gets attracted to Maya, Mother Sita gets allured by this golden deer. And in spite of Rama Lakshmana dissuading her, saying that there is nothing called a golden deer, this could be actually a trick of a demon. But since she has never ever asked for anything, this is the first time she is asking for something, so Rama wanted to fulfill this desire. And Rama goes after this golden deer while Lakshmana is protecting Sita. And then Maricha, just when he is shot by the arrow of Rama, he calls out in the voice of Rama, "Hey Sita, hey Lakshmana." And hearing this Akrodana in the voice of Rama, Mother Sita, wanting to protect, quote unquote, protect Lord Rama, she uses some harsh words towards Lakshmana. And Lakshmana, unwillingly, reluctantly, creating this fiery Lakshmana Rekha, he leaves. So once we turn our backs to the Lord, just like Mother Sita did by getting allured by golden deer, at least she was under the protection of Guru Tattva, that is Lakshmana. But when she abandoned the protection of Guru as well, then there is no way she could be protected. So, as Rama Lakshmana were away, this was the opportune moment for Ravana to disguise himself in the form of a Brahmana, a sannyasi, and he comes and begs for alms. And this is when he kidnaps Mother Sita. And as he is carrying her away in his Pushpaka Viman, Jatayu offers a very strong fight, but he is old and his power, although he is very powerful, is no match for the strength and power of Ravana. However, Jatayu, although he fails in rescuing Mother Sita, he succeeds in serving and pleasing Lord Rama. So Ravana has carried away Mother Sita, but on the way, Mother Sita, using her presence of mind, she drops some ornaments of hers, especially on Rishimukha Parvata, when she sees Sugriva with four of his ministers. And meanwhile, Rama Lakshmana are back, and it's very, very painful to read this section in Valmiki Ramayana, the kind of separation, lamentation that Lord Ramachandra is going through, and so also Lakshmana. So they meet Jatayu. Jatayu gives them the news as to what has happened, and just like a son would perform for a father, Lord Rama performs the final rites for Jatayu. And they move on and they liberate Kabanda, who is a Gandharva, and he is the one who gives them the news that please make friendship with Sugriva and he will help you find your wife. And then they come to Kishkinda. So Aranyakanda ends and Kishkinda Kanda, and Rama makes friendship with Sugriva. The first person they meet is Hanuman. And then Rama kills Vali and helps Sugriva get his wife back, Ruma. And there is also the introduction of Tara and Angad. Tara is the glorious wife of Vali, and Angad is the son of Vali. And from here, we see also how Sugriva gets lost in sense gratification, and he forgets that he had made a promise that he will help Rama back. And then Lakshmana, the guru, comes and reminds the Jiva, you're supposed to serve the Lord. And then Sugriva comes back to his senses and sends his Vanara army in four different directions. But the army that went in the southern direction, Hanuman leaps across the 800 miles Indian Ocean. This was because Sampati, the elder brother of Jatayu, gave them the news, and they said, you please go, and one of you can actually will be able to cross over this ocean. And Jambavan also inspires Hanuman. And Hanuman, just as an arrow released from the quiver of Lord Ramachandra, Hanuman takes the name of Jai Sri Ram, and he becomes this huge gigantic form he assumes, and then he leaps over the ocean. On the way, he meets Mainak, Sattvic distraction. He overcomes this distraction. So Mainak is for Loba, overcoming Loba, and then Surasa, that is for pride, Mada, how we should be humble, and then finally Simhika, just by the shadow she was trying to hold back Hanuman, he killed her also. And then Hanuman assumes a very small form. He enters Lanka at the right time, and then he goes into the private chambers of Ravana, and he's trying to see where is Mother Sita, but she's nowhere to be found. There are so many women. There are like Devakanyas, Rishikanyas, so many Gandharva Kanyas, but there is no Sita. And then he finds Mother Sita in Ashoka Vatika, and upon finding her, there is this very beautiful conversation between Hanuman and Mother Sita. The way Hanuman consoles her with his expert speech and gives the ring that Rama had given her, and in turn, she gives her Chudamani. And just before he leaves Lanka, there is this incident where we said he was captured by um, the people of Ravana, the Rakshasas, and then how his tail was set on fire, but it did not go to waste. Although Hanuman was not hurt by it, however, he burnt the whole Lanka except for Vibhishana's palace and Ashoka Vatika, where Mother Sita was there. And then he comes back. He puts off the fire of his tail, he comes back, leaps across the ocean, and all the Vanara army are so happy, they're so delighted. And then they go give this news to Lord Ramachandra. So that was Kishkinda Kanda and Sundara Kanda. So today we will get into Yuddha Kanda and briefly Uttarakanda. So what happened in Yuddha Kanda? So once this Bhakta Hanuman gave the news to Lord Ramachandra that my dear Lord, this is where Mother Sita is, and this is the news that she has given me. Here is the ornament that she has presented. And then there is only 1 month's time. So we have to act swiftly. So this is the time when Hanuman gave this news. Lord Ramachandra actually embraced Hanuman, and he said, my dear Hanuman, what you have done to me today, I will not be able to ever repay you. I am eternally indebted to you. So one of the qualities of this Gunavan, Lord Ramachandra, who is like an ocean of good qualities, is Kritagnyascha. Anybody does anything good to him, he will remember it forever. So he's so grateful that he embraces Hanuman. And then immediately they strategize, they come up with a solid plan how to now proceed because they have very little time. So Sugriva, Angad, everybody gives their opinion how they should go about, what they should do to proceed now. So they create a huge Vanara army. They create some leaders who are going to take the lead the subdivisions of the army. And they have reached the shore of the ocean. So now, just when they were thinking, how are we going to cross the ocean with all this Vanara Sena? Through the Akasha Marga, Vibhishana is coming. And why Vibhishana is coming this way? Because meanwhile, Ravana in his assembly, while Rama and Sugriva and everybody are planning this, to how to go to Lanka, meanwhile, Ravana called a huge meeting. And in that meeting, he was thinking, like, how are we going to fight? Because Hanuman has said, we are going to come and defeat you, kill you, and we are going to take Sita back. So while they were discussing like this, many different people gave advised Ravana to change his mind about returning Sita back. So there is this one personality called Malyavan. He also advised, but Ravana would not heed. Mandodari herself gave some solid advice, but he still would not heed. Kumbhakarna also was against this. And then Vibhishana, he stood up and he spoke some very strong words in opposition to in opposition to the demon Ravana. But when Vibhishana spoke like this, Indrajit, one of the sons of Ravana, his name is Indrajit because he had won over even Indra. So he was very powerful. His another name was Meghnad. So Indrajit, he stood up and said, looks like my uncle is a coward. Look at the kind of advice he is giving. So Indrajit spoke some harsh words, and then Vibhishana and Indrajit had some hot exchange, heated exchange of words. So Vibhishana said, Indrajit, you're still a child. You don't know the prowess of Lord Rama. Why do you want to become the cause of the destruction of this whole dynasty? You better be quiet. This is what Vibhishana told Indrajit. And hearing this argument between his brother Vibhishana and his son Indrajit, Ravana was infuriated by Vibhishana. So Ravana says that, oh Vibhishana, if you were not my brother, I would have killed you right now. So this humiliation, this apamana is what triggered Vibhishana to leave the company of his brother, because Vibhishana was sure there is nothing that can change this Ravana's mind. He is hell bent on not only him dying but getting everybody else also killed. So we should never be disappointed or scared upon this apamana, humiliation. Because even if humiliation, although as painful as it is, if we can use humiliation in the right way, it can actually take us closer to God. For example, Dhruva Maharaj. We see that how Dhruva was insulted by his stepmother Suruchi. And as a result of that humiliation, what happened? He went into the forest, he got a guru like Narad Muni, and within 6 months, he achieved God realization. In Mahabharata, I'm sure many of you remember, Vidura was humiliated in a similar fashion. Vidura was giving good advice to Dasharatha, saying that, please stop your evil son Duryodhana from fighting with Pandavas. There is no way he is going to win. But the whole Kaurava dynasty is going to be destroyed. And upon hearing this, just like this, Indrajit spoke harsh words towards Vibhishana. Similarly, Duryodhana had spoken very harsh and piercing words to his uncle Vidura. He said, this son of a kept maidservant, how dare he speaks? Although he's been maintained by us, he always speaks in the favor of Pandavas. So he tells his servants that throw this son of a maidservant with only his breath. Very, very sharp, piercing words. However, Vidura took this as a great favor, it is a great mercy of the Lord upon him. And Vidura immediately puts his bow and arrow at the doorstep and he leaves. He goes on a pilgrimage. So Vidura attained the association of a great rishi like Maitreya Rishi, and Vidura also became God realized. And here also we see that Vibhishana was humiliated by Ravana, by Indrajit. But what happened as a result? Vibhishana, already he had the association of Hanuman, association in the sense he had spoken in favor of Hanuman when he came as a messenger, and now Vibhishana left the company of Ravana and he is coming through Akasha Marga in the sky. And when Vibhishana came through Akasha Marga, many people actually informed or instructed, not instructed because Lord Rama is the Lord, but they suggested Because Lord Rama asked everybody, what do you think? What is your opinion? What is your suggestion? What do you think I should do with Vibhishana? Should we accept him? Should we, reject him? What should we do? So Sugriva spoke and said, my dear Lord, you are the supreme, you are the ultimate. So finally the decision will be yours. But as far as I go, I think that this man, Vibhishana, he has abandoned his own brother. Now, how could you trust a person who has abandoned his own brother? How can you trust his loyalty towards you? And somebody else said maybe he's come as a spy. He will just come, stay with us, and he will get all this information, and maybe he's going to go back and keep giving the news to Ravana. So maybe we should not trust him. But like there's so many people speaking, giving so many opinions. But however, Hanuman said that when I went as a messenger, as Ramaduta, to find Mother Sita, it is only Vibhishana who stood up and courageously spoke in my favor. He spoke against his own brother. He knows what is dharma. He also said that Vibhishana, when I was setting the fire to the whole Lanka, it is only the palace of Vibhishana from where I heard the chanting of the holy names of God. So he is a great devotee. And Hanuman also said, it is the wife and daughter of Vibhishana who are actually taking good care of Sita Devi. Although Sita Devi was being harassed by these Lankinis, Rakshasis, the wife and daughter of Vibhishana were caring and affectionate towards Mother Sita. So Hanuman recollects all these things and says, my dear Lord, I think we should accept him. So after patiently hearing very attentively to all the suggestions, then finally Lord Ram says, Vibhishana, I accept you. Why? Because Vibhishana, even as he was coming in the sky, he had not even gotten down. But right there, he had said, Lord Ramachandra, I am your servant. I surrender unto you. I seek your shelter. So Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. So Krishna also says we should give up all these so-called dharmas and just surrender to the Supreme Lord. And the moment we surrender, Krishna says, I take charge of you. I will liberate you. I will give you my shelter. So Lord Rama also, similarly, he says, no matter who it is, just one time, just once, if they say, Tavai Vasmi, that I am yours, that's it. So Lord Rama said, I will give my protection to them. So immediately, Lord Ramachandra arranged for the coronation of Vibhishana. They didn't even have much paraphernalia for coronation, but he told Lakshmana that go get the water and different things, and right there. So this place is a beautiful temple near a water body. Even now, when you go to Rameshwaram, you can visit this place. Very, very beautiful, where Vibhishana was coronated. So it's very interesting that Lord Ramachandra coronated Vibhishana even before they have not crossed the ocean, they have not gotten to Lanka, they have not killed Ravana, and he already coronated. Why? Because Lord Ramachandra was confident. He had utmost faith that Ravana is going to, his life is going to come to an end. But also, Ramachandra was a little apprehensive because he had given the word that 14 years he will be in the forest. But now, if he goes and defeats Ravana, then immediately he would have to rule Lanka. Then what will people say? Oh, look at this Rama. He left Ayodhya, he left the rule of Ayodhya, and now he is ruling Lanka. Although he was supposed to be, in Vanavasa for 14 years. So even before that could happen, the killing of Ravana could happen, Rama went ahead and coronated Vibhishana. And seeing this, Sugriva, he asks Lord Ramachandra that, my dear Lord, okay, you coronated Vibhishana now, you have said he will become Lankapati, and you also said anybody who comes in your shelter, you will give them protection. Now, just like Vibhishana came to you and said, Tavai Vasmi, what if Ravana also comes and says, Tavai Vasmi, that I surrender to you? Then what will you give? Because you've already given Lanka to Vibhishana. So Ramachandra says, no problem. Bharata, my brother who is ruling Ayodhya, I will take Ayodhya from him and make Ravana Ayodhya Pati. So this is how detached, this is how affectionate the Supreme Lord is, who is willing to give Ayodhya to Ravana if at all Ravana says, I surrender to you. So we are all like Ravana mentality. We are wanting to enjoy the energy of the Supreme Lord without, the Supreme Lord himself. Like Prabhupada said, we want the kingdom of God without God. So this is Ravana mentality. But the moment we have Hanuman mentality where we want to engage the energy of the Lord in the service of the Lord, like unite the energy with the energetic, like Hanuman played this beautiful role of connecting, reuniting Mother Sita with Lord Ramachandra. So no matter how degraded one is, simply by surrendering unto the Lord is, very happy and looking forward to giving the best of everything to us. So all we have to do is surrender. So like this, Vibhishana has been accepted, and now they're thinking, okay, how we have to cross the ocean. And Vibhishana, as a friend of Lord Ramachandra, the first suggestion he gives is, why not pray to Varuna Dev, the ocean god? So that way he will make way, and then we can start building a bridge. So although this is not how the Kshatriyas handle things, approach things, because they are, Kshatriyas are with the fighting spirit, with the bow and arrow, they are not the ones to sit and meditate and then get boons and things like that. But however, because this is the very first suggestion given by his dear friend Vibhishana, Rama wanted to, keep him in good spirits. So that is why Lord Ramachandra, heeding to this advice, he does sit and for 3 days he is praying to Varuna Dev. And ocean god is nowhere to be seen. And after 3 days, Lord Ramachandra got up and said, Oh, Varuna Dev, you are unwilling to come in spite of me praying to you for 3 days. He says, just by shooting my arrow, he says, Lakshmana, bring my bow and arrow. I will dry up the whole ocean. And then we will go. And then Varuna Dev immediately came and said, My dear Lord, please, don't be angry at me. And he said, I'm so sorry that, I did not come immediately. So I am at your service. So he says, this Nala and Neela, two of the Vanaras, they have a boon from some sages. Because earlier they used to go and disturb some sages, they would take all this puja paraphernalia and throw them into water. So they had cursed them, saying that whatever you throw into water will not drown, but it will float. So Varuna Dev says, you can use this Nala and Neela's this boon to throw stones into my ocean, and I will make way and the stones will start floating. And that way you can all step on those stones and you can cross. So that is exactly what they start doing, but then they see that although the stones are floating, but they are going, some stones are going this way, some stones are going that way, they are not sticking together. And in order to make this happen, finally they realized, if we start writing Jai Shri Ram on the stones and start pelting the stones in the river, they saw that actually these stones were sticking together. And all the Vanaras, with all their might and enthusiasm, they started bringing the boulders, the stones, the pebbles to their own capacity. And meanwhile, Lord Ramachandra himself wanted to test this. So, without writing Ram on the stone, Lord Ramachandra himself put a stone into the ocean. Hanuman is always very attentive. He's always watching Lord Ram what he's doing. And he saw that the stone put by Lord Ramachandra into the ocean without his name written on it, that stone actually drowned. And Hanuman, having witnessed this, realized that the name of Ram is far more powerful than Rama himself. And especially in Kali Yuga, it is said that the Lord has invested all his potencies in his holy names. And that is why in Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the holy names of God, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, one can attain all perfection. And as they were doing this, there was this little squirrel which was also very keen, seeing all these Vanaras serve Lord Ramachandra so nicely. The squirrel was thinking, I will also help. And the squirrel will go in the ocean and roll its body, make its body wet. Then it will come on the sand and roll its body again and take all these sand grains, small, 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 tiny sand grains sticking to its body. Then it will go and then it will shake off all these sand grains. So it was doing whatever it can. And Hanuman was making fun of this squirrel, saying that, yeah, by the time you do this, I'm sure we are going to build the bridge and cross. He was being a little sarcastic and making fun of the squirrel. So, noticing this, Lord Ramachandra told Bajrangi that no matter who has what ability, as long as doing the best that they can, I am very pleased with everybody. So Lord Ramachandra said, as much as I am pleased with your service, O Hanuman, I am equally pleased with the service of this squirrel. For me, there is no discrimination. So this is a very good instruction for all of us. Krishna or Lord Rama is not expecting that we should be the best of everybody. What he is expecting is that we should be the best that we can be. Like let's say somebody has 10 lakh rupees and they give 1 lakh in the service of the Lord. The Lord is not seeing how much you gave, He is seeing how much you have kept for yourselves. On the contrary, let's say somebody has just 100 rupees and all that 100 rupees they offered it in the service of the Lord. Now, who is better? The one who gave 1 lakh or the one who gave 100? Actually, it is the one who gave 100 because they gave 100% of what they had. But the other person only gave 10% of what they had. So instead of comparing with others, who is doing what and how much they are doing, we should just see what has God given me and am I offering everything of what God has given me back in the service of the Lord. And it is at this point Lord Rama lovingly takes the squirrel on his palm and using his 3 fingers, he rubs the back of the squirrel, and even today the squirrels have these 3 marks on their back. So very, very sweet pastime. How everybody's service counts no matter how small or big. The Supreme Lord treats everything equally. So, like this, they were very successful in building the bridge of stones. And as they were trying to cross, Lord Ramachandra climbed on the, Lord Hanuman, Bhakta Hanuman carried Lord Rama. Jambavan carried, I think it was not Jambavan, Angad. Angad carried Lakshmana. So, like this, all of them started crossing the bridge of stones. And meanwhile, this Ravana, he sent some spies. And he told these spies that you go check how big their army is. And even before that, he had sent a spy to talk to Sugriva and saying, Sugriva, Ravana is not interested in killing you. Why? Because he had made friendship with Vali. So, because your brother was a friend of Ravana, he's not interested in fighting with you. So, why are you helping Rama back off? So Ravana was trying to cut off the support of Vanara army to Lord Rama, but Sugriva was very fixed. He told the spy that go back and give the news to Ravana that I am a servant of Rama forever. So I am not going to back off from this. And then again the spies came, and this time they came disguised as Vanaras. But Vibhishana immediately realized that actually these are not Vanaras, these are actually the spies of Ravana. And upon being informed, Lord Rama said, Hanuman, you yourself take these spies and show them how big our Vanara army is. So Ramachandra thought at least if Ravana comes to know that they do have a huge army backing them, maybe Ravana will change his mind, just maybe. And also Rama told that although they are spies, Rama said, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to spare your life. So these spies also, their heart also was transformed and they went back to give this news to Ravana. They also started chanting, Jai Shri Ram. And Ravana was so offended by this. And he instructed them that if they did this one more time, he will kill them. And meanwhile, Rama sent Angad as a duta, as a messenger to Ravana's kingdom. Because Rama was hoping that let's try our very best to avoid this war. If Ravana can just return Mother Sita, they don't have to do all this. They don't have to go and kill Ravana. And Angada went, and then Ravana asked, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am the son of Vali." And Ravana already knew what was the power of Vali. I've told you in another session how Vali was so strong that he was carrying Ravana under his arms and he was jumping from one side to another side while he was doing his Sandhya Vandana. So Angada gave some solid advice to Ravana. He said, "Ravana, who killed Vali?" He said, "Rama." And you know the power of Vali, don't you? So Vali was so powerful, he could carry Ravana under his arms and do this. And that Vali was killed by Rama, and you are going against him. So, like this, he gave many, many instances. He asked, "Who killed your brothers Kara and Dushan?" Ravana said it was Rama. "And how powerful were your brothers Kara and Dushan? And you want to fight against him?" And he also asked this Angad, he asked Ravana, "You witnessed the power of Hanuman. Hanuman was just Rama Duta. And what did he do? The damage to Lanka, he burnt your whole Lanka. And if his messenger was so powerful, you can imagine how powerful, Lord Rama is. And in spite of all this, you want to fight against Rama and you're hoping against hope that somehow you will be victorious." So Angada gave all these examples, but still, like they say, right? Vinashakale viparita buddhi. When the destruction time has come, no good advice will go into the ears and heart. So Ravana was very reluctant. And in fact, Ravana advised four Rakshasas to capture this Angada, and immediately Angada became so huge, he threw all these four ministers and he became so huge and he put his one foot down and said, "Ravana, if any of you, you or any of your people can move, can even shake my feet, the foot that I have placed here, we will not even fight with you. I will go tell Rama about this. So I'm just a messenger. Let's see if you can even move my feet, what I have placed here." So many people came and tried, and nobody could. Why? Because Bhumi Devi, who is the mother of Sita, using her gravitational pull, using her magnetic power, she held this Angad's feet so tight to her. And Ravana himself came finally, try to hold the feet of Angada, and Angada is saying, "My feet is not worth catching, oh Ravana. If at all you have to catch, go catch the feet of Lord Rama." So, like this, Angada also did his very best to put some sense into Ravana, but he would not budge. So, Angada leapt and he went back to Rama and said he's not listening, he's not agreeing. And meanwhile, Ravana, having witnessed the power of Angad, having witnessed the power of Hanuman, now the spies have also said how huge this Vanara army is. Out of desperation, Ravana goes to Sutala Loka. And who is there in Sutala Loka, my dear devotees? Yes, that is Bali Maharaj. So Vamana Dev had sent him there, isn't it? So Ravana thought, at least let me go and seek the help of Bali. So Ravana said that there is this huge war that is going to happen between Rama's army and my army and between him and me. So Bali, please fight on my side. Bali says, "Ravana, I want to show you something. Come with me." There is this huge gold, a pile of gold. It's looked like a mountain of gold. So Bali Maharaj asked Ravana, "Can you guess what this is?" Ravana says, "I don't know. Maybe it's a mountain of gold, but I don't know what exactly it is." So Bali says, "Listen to me carefully, O Ravana. This pile of gold that you are seeing, which looks like a mountain, was one earring of my great grandfather Hiranyakashipu." Right? Because Hiranyakashipu's son was Prahlada, Prahlada's son Virochana, Virochana's son Bali. So great grandfather's one earring was this, what you are saying is mountain of gold. Like this, he was wearing two earrings. So you can imagine if his earrings are so big, how big Hiranyakashipu was, and who killed that Hiranyakashipu? Yes, Narsimhadev. And this Hiranyakashipu, who wore such big gold earrings, he was so huge. When he was fighting with Narsimhadev, guess where he hid himself? Within the nails. Nakam Adbhuta Shringam. He hid in the nails of Narsimhadev. And Narsimhadev was thinking, where did this fellow go? And finally, when he did like that, Hiranyakashipu fell down. So how big must be the nails, the most wonderful nails of Narsingadev Bhagwan, that Hiranyakashipu was hiding there. And with those same most wonderful nails, powerful nails, he ripped apart, Narsimhadev ripped apart the belly of Hiranyakashipu and wore the bloodied intestines as his garland. And Bali Maharaj said, Ravana, that same Narsimhadev has come as Rama and you want me to fight against him? He said, no way. And in fact, Bali says, I advise you that you should also not fight against him because you have no hope of victory. And in spite of this, Ravana still did not change his mind. So, given this, Ravana is hell bent on the war happening. So, the whole Vanara army crossed and they came and they sent news. Sugriva went, and still Ravana was not, hearing, and he got to know that they have all already come to Lanka. And Sugriva, before Ravana could capture him, he spat on the face of Ravana and he immediately leapt off from there and came back. Of course, Rama was not very pleased with this behavior of Sugriva, but Sugriva said, I could not help. So, like this, in Valmiki Ramayana, there is a huge description of, who killed who and all that, but we don't have the time to get into all those details. However, Indrajit, the son of Ravana, he came and he used Nagapasha. And meanwhile, Hanuman used Garuda. Na? The Garuda and the snakes, they don't get along well. So Garuda came and he was able to dismantle that. And then there is huge incident where Indrajit came and he was fighting so ferociously. And the only person who could kill Indrajit was Ravana, because Indrajit had a boon that only a person who has been celibate for 14 years, has not eaten for 14 years, has not drank anything for 14 years, would be able to kill him. And that was Lakshmana. And meanwhile, this Indrajit, he left the battlefield and he went to perform one yajna called Kumbhala Devi Yajna. There was a temple called Kumbhala Devi, so he went there. So, if this Indrajit completed this yajna, then nobody would be able to defeat him. So, before that yajna got over, Lakshmana had to go there and he had to kill Indrajit, and that's exactly what Lakshmana did. So, he went to that Kumbhala Devi temple, and before the yajna could be completed, he killed Indrajit. And once this news went to Ravana, the death is getting closer and closer to Ravana. And meanwhile, there is also this beautiful incident. In order to save Lakshmana, Hanuman leapt across and he went and got the Sanjeevani Parvata. He had to bring Sanjeevani. He couldn't fathom which one is Sanjeevani and which one is not. So he brought one whole Parvata. So there is this famous picture where he is carrying Sanjeevani. So Lakshmana is saved. And meanwhile, this Ravana, using this black magic tactics, he is doing a lot of tricks. So once they brought the head of Sita Devi and showed that, she's been killed, thinking that they will believe. And Vibhishana, knowing the tricks and tactics of his brother Ravana, he said, don't believe this. There is no way that Ravana will kill Mother Sita. She is very much alive. So many a time they were trying to play these tricks, doing various things. And once actually they brought, Ravana insisted that Sita must be taken on Pushpaka Vimana along with these Lankinis. And they had this Maya forms of Rama and Lakshmana, like as though they were dead. So they were thinking that if they take Sita there and tell that, Rama Lakshmana are already dead, she herself will leave the body. But when they brought Pushpaka Vimana and Sita Devi in that, the Lankinis told her, Sita, don't worry, actually this is false. See, if at all Rama Lakshmana were really dead, this Pushpaka Vimana will not fly over the dead bodies. But Pushpaka Vimana is flying. So that means they are not dead. This is a trick played on Ravana, played by Ravana. So like this, he was trying to trick Rama Lakshmana with the head of Mother Sita cut off, that is using black magic, and they were trying to kill Sita Devi by doing all these tricks, but none of them fell for these tricks. And finally, Ravana said that it is time for Kumbhakarna to come. Now, Kumbhakarna, we know he's huge. He's so huge that it is said that when Ravana went on the terrace of his 24 storied palace, Kumbhakarna would stand on the ground. So Kumbhakarna is on the ground, Ravana is on a 24-storied palace terrace, and then they would talk face to face. This is how huge Kumbhakarna was. And he would sleep for 6 months, he will get up, and one day he will eat, again go back to sleep for 6 months. So Kumbhakarna had just woken up and he had finished his, marathon of eating, binge eating, and he had gone to sleep. But now Ravana sent his servants to wake him up. And now this itself is an arduous and funny task. All the different things they had to do simply to wake up Kumbhakarna, wake Kumbhakarna up. And with the great arduous endeavor, somehow or other, they were able to wake Kumbhakarna up. They were blowing trumpets. They got elephants to walk on him, and so many things. And he woke up and drank like 200 buckets of wine, and he ate so much food. And then finally, Kumbhakarna, even at this point, he still advised Ravana, it's not late, give back Sita. Even Kumbhakarna gave this advice. But Ravana said, my dear brother, it's too late. I cannot back off now. So, although Kumbhakarna was not in favor of what Ravana is doing, but as a brother, he still served his brother. He didn't give up the company of Ravana like Vibhishana. So Kumbhakarna, just with one hand, he would grab like 10, 20 vanaras, another hand 10, 20 vanaras, and he was just eating them like breakfast. Like somebody would take, a bunch of peanuts and put in their mouth, chana in the mouth, like this. This Kumbhakarna is taking vanaras and putting, eating them. So Rama was like, oh my God, he is so huge. And then Vibhishana suggests Rama and Lakshmana how this Kumbhakarna can be killed. So it is Rama who ends up killing Kumbhakarna. We don't have the time to discuss how exactly he did and all the details. And finally, now everybody, Indrajit was gone, Kumbhakarna was gone, and there was no choice but Ravana to show up. Even at this point, Mandodari is advising him that please, at least at this point, give back Mother Sita. But no, Ravana would not listen. He was so egoistic and so lusty. So when Ravana came, this ferocious fight happened between Rama and Ravana. Every time he's chopping off, killing one of his heads, he's Dashanana, he has 10 heads, and again the head will prop up, and he's laughing like crazy. And then, although Lord Ramachandra is the supreme Lord, and he doesn't have to pray, it is at this point that he sings this Aditya Hrudayam, which is the famous prayers. Many of them chant this Aditya Hrudayam. It is actually Ramachandra actually prayed Aditya Hrudayam. And then finally, that night, that evening, Lord Ramachandra tells Ravana, go back and come tomorrow with your weapons, because Ramachandra shot him in such a way that his weapons fell down. And even at this point, so much compassion, Rama says, Ravana, go back and come tomorrow. But the next day, when they come, Lord Ramachandra gloriously, this feat that all the demigods were waiting, all the Vanara army was waiting, everybody, especially Mother Sita, was waiting for this moment. And that moment happened where Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, and there laid this Ravana, the 10-headed Ravana, the egoistic Ravana, who simply did not heed to anybody's advice. Finally, he had to be killed. So the victory of good over evil, and this was Vijayadashami day. So it is 13 days that the war happened, and the victory was attained on the 13th day, that is Vijayadashami. And then immediately, Mandodari and all his other wives, they came and they started lamenting the death of Ravana. And this Daya Murti, Rama, who is the embodiment of compassion, look at the kind of compassion he had. He had so much Daya even for enemy who kidnapped his wife, that he is actually feeling more pain seeing the pain of Mandodari, thinking that it is because of my killing Ravana that such a Pativrata, Panchakanya, that Mandodari is having to suffer like this. And the first thing that Ravana exclaimed was, Aho Rupam. He said, whoa, this Ravana is so beautiful. Aho Rupam. So Rama is appreciating the beauty of even an enemy. And then Rama instructed Vibhishana that you should do the final rites for your brother. When Vibhishana said no, Lord Rama said, if you don't do it, oh Vibhishana, because I consider you also as my brother, if you don't do it, it'll become my duty to do it, then I will do the final rites for Ravana. Such a compassion even for enemy. This is Ramachandra's glorious character. And then Lord Ramachandra sends news that Sita Devi, sends Hanuman to give the news to Sita Devi, and she's so happy. And Sita Devi says, I'm so indebted to you, eternally indebted for giving me this best of the news. And Vibhishana's second coronation happens at this time. And then Lord Ramachandra instructs Vibhishana to get Sita Devi ready. She's been in another man's this thing for 1 year. So she has to wear some ornaments and get ready nicely and come, because all the Vanaras, they're waiting. Who is this lady for whom we had to cross the ocean and build the a bridge? Who is this lady? We want to see her. And then Vibhishana himself is carrying in the palanquin Mother Sita. And because she's in a palanquin, the Vanaras are not able to see. They're running this way, that way, hither and thither. Like, we want to get a glimpse of her. And then Rama sends news and says that tell Sita to get down and walk so the Vanaras can see her. And there's nothing wrong. Her chastity is maintained, but still the Vanaras can have her darshan. But at this point, when Mother Sita comes, Lord Rama says, "Oh Sita, as a husband, I have done my dharma in protecting you and rescuing you, but now you can go wherever you wish to go." This was heartbreaking for everybody. What is this? We did so much to rescue Mother Sita, and now he's saying you can go wherever you want to go. But this was because Lord Rama wanted to prove to the world, not to himself. He knows the purity of Mother Sita, but to prove to the world that she is still pure, and also because she was in Lanka for almost for 1 year. Lord Rama also wanted to make sure that she still is choosing Rama. Although he had no doubt, but he just wanted to prove. So this is how Mother Sita, at this time, she instructs Lakshmana that go and get some logs of wood and set fire. I'm going to enter into fire. So she did Agni Pravesha. And at this time, remember the original Sita was taken by Swaha, the wife of Agni Dev, and then the shadow Sita was only hijacked, kidnapped by Ravana. So now this Maya Sita went into the fire and the original Sita was returned. And at this time, all the demigods come and shower flowers, and there's Dasharath Maharaj also who comes and blesses Mother Sita and says, advises her that please don't have any malice, negative feelings towards Lord Ramachandra. He did this for your own good. So, like this, they all mount Pushpaka Vimana. Everybody is on this Pushpaka Vimana, and as they are coming on the way, they are witnessing so many places. Ramachandra is personally like a guided tour, he's telling Sita Devi, this is where this happened, this is where we met Sugriva, this is Kishkinda. And then Mother Sita says, I'm the only woman here, so maybe in Kishkinda we should stop and get Sugriva's wife also. So they take Sugriva's wife Ruma, Tara also comes, Angad, everybody, they're on the way back. And they also visit Bharadwaja Muni's ashram near Triveni Sangama. And when they stopped at Bharadwaja Muni's ashram, Rama sends Hanuman, says, go to Bharata and check. If he is happy ruling, let him only continue to rule. I will not go. I will stay here only. I will just be in the forest. So just check the condition, and depending on how it's going, then give him the news that we are back. See, Rama is so sensitive to all these things. He's dharmagnya. He knows dharma at every single moment. But he also says, Hanuman, but on the way before you go to Bharata, my Atma Priya Saka Guha is there. Please give him the news that we are coming. See, Lord Ramachandra is such a Kritagnya, he never forgets anything anybody has done. So Hanuman goes, gives the news, and then everybody is so jubilant. They get the whole Ayodhya ready. Just like today is a historic event, the whole Ayodhya is decked up, and the whole nation, the whole world is looking forward to the coronation, to the Prana prathishtapana of Sri Ramalalla. So the whole Ayodhya was lit up with lights, with rangolis, with toranas, with scented water sprinkled everywhere. And this is when Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, Vibhishana, Hanuman, everybody they enter Ayodhya to this grand royal welcome. And the very next day, Lord Ramachandra is coronated. So, like this, for 10,000 years, Lord Ramachandra rules. And there are so many beautiful pastimes, how so many others, nobody wants to go because they all just want to be here in Ayodhya. But after a while, Lord Ramachandra bid farewell, giving them profuse amounts of wonderful gifts. But Hanuman refused to go. He said, I will be here only serving you. And there are so many wonderful pastimes related to this, but we really don't have the time to get into everything. And 10,000 years like this, Lord Ramachandra ruled Ayodhya. And now this Uttarakanda is so painful because Lord Ramachandra got to know that there is this Dobi, launderman, Dobi. So he, once when his wife was away from home for a day and she came back for a night and came back, he was heard speaking that I am not Rama to accept a wife who has been in another man's house. So now this is the deep topic. Many people question why Lord Rama had to abandon his wife, send his wife, that too a pregnant wife, into the forest. Just hearing some layman, a dobi, that too, a launderman's words. So there is a deep philosophy in this, and the conflict of dharma between Raja Dharma and Pati Dharma, and so many things. So we do not have the time. I will not be able to do the justice to get into this. Maybe this is another topic for another day. So Lord Ramachandra instructs Lakshmana that please take Sita, and she's been wanting to be in the ashram. So take her to Valmiki's ashram and leave her there. Don't bring her back. And of all the instructions given by Ramachandra, this was the most difficult one for Lakshmana to follow. As a younger brother, he could not say no, but at the same time, it just broke his heart into a million pieces to execute this order. So, with painful heart and with tears in his eyes, he takes Mother Sita on his chariot and he drops her off in the forest close to Valmiki Muni's ashram. And it is at this point the Acharyas point out that Lakshmana said, that's it. Next time when I come, I will not come as younger brother. I will only come as older brother. I don't want to come as younger brother and be executing such instructions. And this is why in Dwapara Yuga, the next Yuga, when Lakshmana came, he came as the elder brother of Krishna. And who is that? Our very own, the wonderful Balram, Baladev. So he came as the older brother. So, like this, Mother Sita is in Valmiki Muni's ashram, and that is where she gives birth to Lava and Kusha. And meanwhile, here, even for Ramachandra, although we know that Mother Sita was so much in pain and everything, but actually we don't reminisce so much on how much pain Lord Ramachandra went in separation from Mother Sita. And that last 1000 years, that is Uttarakanda section. So we have discussed briefly about Ashwamedha Yajna that he performed in Naimisharanya, how Lavakusha came and sang Ramayana for the first time. And the disappearance of Lord Ramachandra, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, it was as the providence would have it. Once a person visited Ayodhya and they said they want a private meeting with Lord Ramachandra, and they said, Ramachandra, you must promise that when you and I are meeting, nobody should come here. If somebody comes and interrupts our meeting, that person should be abandoned. So Lord Ramachandra, because this was such a grave thing, so he instructed Lakshmana, you yourself stand guard here and make sure nobody comes into the room. And while Lakshmana guarding, who comes? There we go, Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni insists that he wants to enter and meet Lord Rama right now. And Lakshmana is trying to console him and convince him, is like, please tell me what you want, I will serve you. But Durvasa says, no, 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 I want to meet your brother Rama himself. And now so Lakshmana was in a fix. So if he does not go and inform Lord Rama about the arrival of Durvasa, Durvasa could curse the whole Ayodhya. And Durvasa Muni is infamous for this. But if Lakshmana goes and interrupts the meeting of Rama and the special guest who has come, it's only Lakshmana who will have to suffer. So does he want Ayodhya to suffer by the curse of Durvasa, or just he himself suffer? He obviously chose that he will suffer. So Lakshmana goes and interrupts this meeting, and because he interrupted, so Lord Rama had to abandon Lakshmana. So this is another painful thing. And why did Durvasa Muni come? He just wanted to be fed by Lord Rama. There we go. Really crazy. So anyhow, so Lakshmana was abandoned, and Lord Rama was in no mood to continue to rule Ayodhya any longer. Mother Sita was gone, and now Lakshmana is gone. So he calls Bharata and Shatrugna. Shatrugna was ruling the Mathura region at the time, and then both of them, and Bharata is also not interested. Shatrugna is not interested. So now what do? They distribute the ruling of the kingdom between all their sons, the sons of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrugna, and all three brothers, they go back to Saket Dham. So just like Pandavas also, we see they were always together. The moment Yudhishthir Maharaj wanted to stop ruling Hastinapura, when he heard of Krishna's disappearance, all the five brothers, none of them were interested. Everybody left, and they made Parikshit the king. Similarly here, the moment Bharata, I mean Lord Ramachandra was not interested, none of the other brothers were also interested in ruling. Immediately they all left. So this is how Lord Ramachandra took his associates back to Saket Dham. Hanuman is a Chiranjeevi. He stays wherever Ramakatha is happening. So I hope that we have his blessings and mercy throughout this Ramakatha. I'm sure we did. That is why we were able to complete this series. So thank you so much, my dear devotees, for enthusiastically, eagerly participating in this 9 days Ramayana series. I have already shared the Aradhana online WhatsApp group link in our WhatsApp group. So if you have not already joined, kindly do so, because there you will get updates about all our future programs, so we can have many such series and wonderful sessions where we can all together grow in our spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So I hope and pray, as we make this final offering to this Ramakatha Yajna, bringing it to a close for now, that just like Lord Rama went to Lanka and killed this demon Ravana, 10-headed Ravana, may he also enter our hearts, which are right now like Lanka, with all the anarthas represented by the 10 heads of Ravana. So many anarthas. So may he come along with his devotees. May he send Hanuman, who is the representative of spiritual master. May they destroy all these anarthas in the heart, which is like a Lanka, and transform Lanka into Ayodhya. And on this auspicious day, where Rama Lalla's Prana prathishtapana is happening, may the Prana prathishtapana of Lord Sri Ramachandra happen in our own hearts. May he transform our hearts from Lanka to Ayodhya, and may he sit on the throne in each and every one of our hearts, and may Lord Ramachandra rule eternally forever, sitting in our hearts and direct our lives, and take us also back home, back to Godhead. So with this prayer, let us bring this Ramayana series to close. I am very, very grateful to each and every one of you joining us live and later watching the recording. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And also, it is the empowerment of my most wonderful spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, who has empowered me to speak all these 9 days. If at all anything was good in this series, all the credit, all the glories goes to my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. I also want to express my gratitude to my brother, Antaratma Krishna Prabhu. It is he who actually suggested that, this historic event is happening on 22nd, so maybe you should consider doing Ramayana series. If not for his suggestion, actually I did not think of this. So it is his idea that was brought into execution through the empowerment of Srila Prabhupada. So I'm also grateful to him for giving me this idea. And thanks to all of you, my dear devotees. Thank you so very much. So on that note, let us do a Premadhvani together. श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, सीता राम लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमान की जय, वाल्मीकि महर्षि की जय, श्री राम लल्ला's प्राण प्रतिष्ठापना डिवाइन सेरेमनी की जय, श्री अयोध्या धाम की जय, जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you in the next video, next session, whenever and whatever topic we choose. So until then, please take care and please keep chanting Jai Shri Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.